Hi and welcome to the video training of Elixir. In today's video training we will be learning about module attributes in Elixir. Module attributes in Elixir serve three purposes. They serve to annotate the module, often with information to be used by the user or the VM. They work as constants. And the third one is that they work as a temporary module storage to be used during compilation. Let's check each case one by one. The first one is module attributes as annotations. Elixir brings the concept of module attributes from Erlang. For example, def module my server do and @vsn2, and in the above example we are explicitly setting the version attribute for that module. @vsn is used by the code reloading mechanism in the Erlang virtual machine to check if a module has been updated or not. If no version is specified, the version is set to the MD5 checksum of the module functions. Module doc and @doc are by far most the used attributes, and we expect to use them a lot. Elixir treats documentation as first class and provides many functions to access documentation. So if you look at this example of math module, we're going to create that module, and let's go enter the interactive mode of Elixir. Def module math do @module doc 3 double quotes provides math related functions. Examples: ex math dot sum and 3 double quotes to end the module doc block. Then we can use the doc module, and it also starts with 3 double quotes. We can enter the comment here. Three double quotes closed. And that's end of math module. Okay, just copy it from here. Save the file. And we are going to compile this math.ex file. Okay, it's compiled now. Let's go into the interactive mode, and now we can call math, and you can see we got the documentation that has been defined in the math module. Similarly, we can get the documentation of specific module, that is math.sum, and it gives us the documentation that has been specified in the module that says calculates the sum of two numbers. So these two modules, module doc and doc, are very useful for documentation purposes. Now let's look at module attributes as constants. Elixir developers often use module attributes when they wish to make a value more visible or reusable. So let's define a module, my server. 127.0.0.1 port 3456 io.inspect @initial state. That's the end of our module my server. Note that unlike Erlang, user defined attributes are not stored in the module by default. The value exists only during compilation time. A developer can configure an attribute to behave closer to Erlang by calling the module.registerAttribute function. Okay, trying to access an attribute that was not defined will print a warning. So let's first run my server, and you can see we get my server. We try to access initial state. God function is undefined or private. Okay. Undefined function initial state, compile error. So we try to define my server again, and this time we are going to set unknown attribute and end the my server module. And if we try to access an attribute that was not defined, it will print a warning. You can see the warning: undefined module attribute unknown, please remove access to unknown or explicitly set it before access. Attributes can also be read inside functions. So let's try this. Def module server do @my data 14 def first date do @my data. Here we are accessing this attribute my data inside the first data function. Create my data 13 def second date do @my data. I made an issue here because I defined it as my data. I think it will be fine. Let's see. And my server dot first date, and I got 14. And if I type in my server dot second date, I get 13. So attributes can also be read inside functions. Every time an attribute is read inside a function, a snapshot of its current value is taken. In other words, the value is read at compilation time and not at runtime. As we are going to see, this also makes attributes useful as storage during module compilation. Normally, repeating a module attribute will cause its value to be reassigned, but there are circumstances where you may want to configure the module attributes so that its values are accumulated. So if we define a module called def module foo do, we can register a module attribute, accumulate, and set it to true. Then we can define the parameters foo and bar, and then we can have the function that may be calling when defining a module attribute. So def module my app dot status do, and within this module you can see we are using a service uri.parse, and we are giving the URL, and then we are defining a function called def status email and some http client.get@service. Okay, let's see how module attributes are used as temporary storage. To see an example of using module attributes as for storage, look no further than Elixir's unit test framework called XUnit. XUnit uses module attributes for multiple different purposes. Okay, as you can see in the code below, there we are defining a module called myTest, and within that myTest module we are using XUnit test framework, and we are using its case class, and we are setting async equals to true. Then we are using module attributes tag and tag OS. Then we are saying test contacts external service do, and we are ending the module and the function. In the above example, XUnit stores the value of async true in a module attribute to change how the module is compiled. Tags are also defined as accumulate true attributes, and they store tags that can be used to set up and filter tests. For example, you can avoid running external tests on your machine because they are slow and dependent on other services, while they can still be enabled in your build system. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you need any professional help, you can email me at umehmood@gmail.com. You can visit my Facebook page, or you can visit my LinkedIn profile, and I'll be more than happy to help you. See you next time with a new topic in Elixir.